Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here with a hybrid scrapbook layout to share with you today. And so I am working with some digital quick pages from Sahlin Studio, and this one is part of the Melon Sorbet collection. Of course, I will link products down below and in the blog post so you can pick these up and use them yourself. And so what I'm going to do is to take this digital layout and print it out and create a hybrid scrapbook layout with it. This is one of the suggested layouts, and then this is what my layout is going to look like when it's finished. So let's get started here. You can see I have a photo from a little walking tour we did from downtown Winston-Salem, and then you can see how I have printed out the elements that I'm going to use from the Quickpages. And so I've printed those onto 13 by 19 matte photo paper. I use a Canon Pixma wide format printer, which is been working great for me for quite a few years. And then I'm just going to trim everything down. And so the lovely thing about Quickpages is that it's already set up for you with the elements already laid out. All you have to do is add your photo and your journaling. And then what I do is I drag everything off of the layout so that it can be printed, and then I reassemble it once I've cut it all out. And so I'm just going to trim everything here. I have several of the pattern papers, several of the elements here. And what I love is that when you print these, you only have to print what you need for that layout. There is no extra here. There's no waste. There's no ink waste. This helps save my printer cartridges, and it also just makes for a fun experience to have a digital page in physical format and to be able to hold it in your hands and to be able to see the actual layers and the dimension and the textural experience of holding it in your hand. It's a lot of fun, and I especially love that the layout is already planned for you. And so if you've never thought about using Quickpages or using digital templates, this is one way that opens that up for you. You don't have to use Photoshop to lay these out. You can use apps such as Affinity or Over if you're a phone scrapbooker. I've never done that personally. I always lay these out in Photoshop and print it through that software. That just seems to work out the best for me. And I just want to say that it is a practice. I have a lot of tutorials that are available for you to watch if you're looking to increase your Photoshop skills. And let me know if you want to see how I use the Quickpages specifically. I will be able to link how I've used other photo templates in a hybrid format. I'll link those down below. If you have any questions about how that works, let me know, and I'm happy to answer your questions as best I can, or to direct you to some places where you might be able to find your answers. What I find works best working with Photoshop is, one, to look for beginner tutorials, and then to start asking the question of what is it that you want to do today, and look up tutorials on how to do the specific thing that you want to do today. So when I printed this out, I printed out the little film wheels here. I love these so much, but the first ones were a bit bigger than than what I had a punch for. So I reprinted those to 3-inch size and used my 3-inch circle punch for those. And that's something that's nice about digital products, of course, is that you can reprint them and make it work for you. That is one thing that I did off script, right? That I changed from the original Quickpage in order to accommodate what I wanted to do or what I had supplies for. And so it worked out great, and you can't even tell when you look at the finished layout, you can't even tell that it's smaller than what it was designed to be. And so at this point, the fun begins of layering all of these elements together. For me, this is the fun part. I enjoy working in Photoshop, and I enjoy the digital part of it as well, but I definitely love the gluing and the cutting and the layering and the pasting. You'll notice that there's a lovely journaling block included on the Quickpages, and so I just wrote a few sentences about the experience of walking through downtown Winston-Salem and how I feel about the city itself. I worked for a couple of years when I was an interior designer. I worked for a couple of years for Forsyth County as a space planner, and so we worked on a lot of the buildings that are downtown, and I feel like I feel a personal connection to the city of Winston-Salem for that reason. And so we had gone downtown that day. We were checking out some arcades, and so allowing the children to experience this city, telling them things that I knew about the city and about different buildings in the city is a really fun experience, and I enjoyed sharing that with them, and I enjoy having that connection for myself, and still being able to live here. We're just 15 minutes outside of Winston, so we're in the city all the time. And I always think about, whenever I think about Winston-Salem, I think about the old 80s song, "We Built This City." Just a fun bit of trivia, I found out that that's like one of the most hated songs in all of rock history. But every time I see the city skyline, I think about that song, and I feel like I had a small part, just a small part. Some of those buildings have my design work included in them, even after all these years, and so that's really cool to be part of something bigger than ourselves. And so once I have back to the layout, I always have some stories to tell, some rabbit trails to go down when I start talking. But once the pattern papers are laid down and everything is adhered down, including the photo here, then the embellishments start to look a little bit different than in the original Quickpages. And this is something that I think is really fun too, where I get to go into my stash and find things that look similar to the embellishments that are on the Quickpages and reimagine it in physical format. And so you can see at the top of the screen some of the embellishments that I've pulled out. I am using some florals. They're just plain white florals from Prima that I've had in my stash for like ever. And I'm going to use those and then layer or build up layers from that. There are some digital florals in the Melon Sorbet collection that you can print and use as well if you don't have any physical florals like that, and that's okay too. I had a couple of little wooden buttons and some metal flare that I'm using, and also the little acrylic pieces. These are all just miscellaneous things that I've had in my stash. They're not available for sale anymore. So some of them may be from companies that don't exist anymore. I don't even know. But I sort all of my embellishments by color, and then when I was looking for little things, little details to add here, I just went to my green bucket, my orange bucket, even though technically looking at the Quickpages itself, there wasn't any orange in that. There's not any orange in the Melon Sorbet collection, but for some reason I pulled those little orange stars and included them anyway. And that's fun. And so the original Quickpages showed some, I want to say confetti, but it was some digital sequins. And so instead of doing sequins, I just did these little acrylic pieces, the little fabric bow, and the buttons, and just different things that I found in my stash. And I bet that you have some fun things in your stash as well that would be fun to use, and I think would be really cute to layer on top of a layout like this. I hope that this inspires you to think about using digital templates and to think about using Quickpages in a different way. It's easy to look at a digital template and to feel, especially if you prefer physical scrapbooking, it's easy to look at a digital template and think, oh, that doesn't apply to me, that's not for me. But this sort of changes the whole game. And so I hope that if you try this, let me know. I would love to hear how it goes for you. Thank you so much for watching, for following along with me today. Be sure to check out the blog post at teresamoxley.com with links to products and links to other inspirational videos as well. I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.